What's up, fam? I'm your host, Jack Settleman. Joining me today, and as always, is my co-host and longtime best friend, Abe Granoff. Abe, what is on your mind today?
Nothing. Really nothing. Um, it's Wednesday. I'm still so sad. Not even mad. Just so sad. If you came here for some long-winded rant like I gave after the 49ers game, first off, I'm dead sober. I'm sick on top of it. I don't really have much on my own. You can ask me questions, pull it out of me. This is something I've never felt before. This puts the Kawhi shot to shame. It's I don't know if I've ever experienced true heartbreak. I'm supposed to be your best friend. You're laughing when my heart got broken.
I mean, on the day after Valentine's Day, your exes are really, unfortunately
they're not my
upset
exes
about
because
that.
I have so much love for every man on that team, pretty much for the most part. I don't know how. Fuck. Just you're gonna have to pull something out of me if you want content, Jack. Ask what you want, pull it out of me.
Okay, we will proceed.
No, we don't have it's just. I think the biggest thing for me and the thing that's most sad, is it more than anything it was what if, right? What if Jalen got the ball back? We saw what he did, down 8, needing to score a touchdown, got the octopus. And the game was so fucking incredible. And for it to end the way that it did is a disservice to the game that it was. And listen, if we got the ball back, down 3, a minute and a half to go, no timeouts, and didn't score, fine. I can hang my hat on that. But it's the what if. What if Jalen got the ball back? If you told me before the game that Jalen was going to outperform Patrick Mahomes by miles, because I'm sorry, it was miles, then I would have said the Eagles are going to win by 28. Just like 5 years ago, if you told me that Tom Brady was going to throw for 500 yards, I would have said the Patriots going to win by 28. Jalen was so special in that game. He was so good. If we played 31 other teams, 30 except the Chiefs in that game, we probably win that football game. We do. We play the Bills, we play the Bengals. We probably win that football game with how Jalen played. He showed up for the moment. The offense did too. They put up 35, first team in NFL history to put up 35 points in the Super Bowl and lose. And it all came down to what I guess we all knew. It was like the Eagles are better, but the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, and you never know. You're barely laughing in my face more than I thought. So part of me thinks that you're just wow, he's really broken. And I am. I'm really, really broken. At one point, here's a stat. At one point, the Eagles were minus 530 to win the Super Bowl live. Minus 530. We went up to half 24-10. And then the Chiefs walked down the field on the first drive. And at that moment in time, I was like, oh, no. They might be the Chiefs. And they were. And it was a tale of two halves. And they say you have to win all 3 phases, and we lost special teams phase on that punt return. And, it's funny. We've been talking all year internally as Eagles fans. I say this as if I'm in the building. About how, our team is so fucking low. This is the best Eagles team ever. It is. It was the best Eagles team ever. And we were talking about the one thing which is so minuscule, but we were lacking is we didn't have a punter all year pretty much. Siposs was kind of and then he got hurt, and then we brought in Brett Kern, and he was and then Siposs played in the Super Bowl, and
that wasn't Kern in the Super Bowl?
I'm pretty sure it was Siposs. I forget. I don't care who it was. They both sucked. It's the thing that lingers the most is just, what if Jalen got the ball back? What if Jalen got the ball back? And it's, I don't know how long this is going to last. I really, really don't. The Kawhi shot, I couldn't eat. I barely could sleep. This is different. It's a different type of feeling inside. And it really, really, really sucks because we didn't get blown out. It was like, it was a game where, and they say it all the time, and I know I'm ranting and Jack's going to get his questions in, but it was a game where it's like, whoever has the ball last. And we weren't awarded the opportunity to have the ball last. We weren't, and it really sucks. That's all.
I'm going to use this opportunity to plug the future of the Snapback Sports Pod, which can be found on YouTube at Snapback Sports Pod. The reason I'm doing so is because I think you need to see Abe to understand the full range of emotions in this specific moment. We had been live streaming the pod normally, but now we're doing this virtually because Abe's under the weather. But in the future, we're going to have our in-studio setup. So every video content will live there. It'll live on TikTok, Snapback Sports Pod. It'll live on Instagram Reels, Snapback Sports Pod. So I'm going to use Abe's sadness to plug the new social channels so everyone can understand how much emotion and what he's really struggling with because, wow, what a game, man. I mean, I don't really know if you could have written a better script. The comeback. What a game. What a game. And for someone who only had one dog in the fight, which was the Kansas City Chiefs, I could literally not have cared less about the ending of the game. It was the perfect 58 minutes of football. And it just ended beautifully. So, first question, Abe. What's it like losing a Super Bowl? I wouldn't know. The Ravens have never lost a Super Bowl. So talk me through the penultimate pain.
The worst part is probably the day or two after. Like, right after the game, it's like it kind of hasn't sunk in yet. It's probably the day or two after, the fact that it lingers. And like I said, the worst part is that we didn't, the Chiefs were the better team because they made, one more play. Or the ref made one more play. But, they're calling Super Bowl 52, or 57, Super Bowl 52 without the Brandon Graham strip sack. Kind of true. Jalen threw for 300 yards, and we lost the game. We scored 35 points, and we lost the game. We've played in two of, the best Super Bowls ever. We won one of them, and now we lost one of them. And to Patriots fans out there, they're like, now you know how it felt when we won 40. Shut the fuck up. We won 7. All right?
6.
Whatever. No, half of those stupid-ass Patriots fans claim the Bucs won anyway.
That's true.
What is the worst part? The worst part is fucking everything, Jack. It's awful. It is awful. To be honest, I know we'll be back. I do. I know I will pay Jalen Hurts $800 million and we'll be back.
He earned his bread, no doubt about that.
And that's going to make when we win it next with him even more sweet. And if we lose the next one with him, oh my God, help me. Put me in a straitjacket.
We talked about it before the game, much more before the game, but would you still have gone to the Super Bowl? If you could pick, no. What are the tiers?
No. You're asking me now, looking back, knowing the result, would I have wanted to go to that Super Bowl, even though it was the greatest game of all? Absolutely fucking not. To be around, at least I was with depressed Eagles fans and stuff.
No, not physically to go to the game. I'm talking, would you have wanted the Eagles to lose in the divisional round, not even make the playoffs this year, or
No,
would you still?
Being in the Super Bowl is dope. In the Super Bowl is dope. Unlike half of you losers listening to this pod, you'll never know because your teams are poverty. So don't throw. Just know your role. No, you jabroni or whatever he said. I definitely would still go. because I think the likelihood that you lose in heartbreaking fashion in which the Eagles did is a lot less likely. If the Eagles lost like 31-10, probably wouldn't have been as bad. We just got the brakes beat off us. But we put up 35 points. Jalen threw for 300 yards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When do you want to get to who do we blame?
Yeah, that's where we're headed right now. So, with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs face a 3rd and 8 on, let's call it the 24, I believe, somewhere around that range. Tie ball game, 35-all. And Juju Smith-Schuster runs an out route on Deebo Samuel. He cuts it upfield. Mahomes overthrows him. I'm in the stands opposite end zone, and I see a flag go up. Didn't really look like much. And then I see the ref signaling holding on the offense. So I'm like, oh, wow, they're really going to have to kick a field goal here. And then all of a sudden, the flag's on. He's motioning the wrong way. I'm not really sure what happened there. But what did you think about the penalty?
It was 3rd and 8. I'm watching in an apartment. All Eagles fans. Mahomes. It honestly, to me, looked like he was throwing the ball away. It really did.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were all jumping up and down, and then it was almost like Titanic music, just like watching that little yellow bird fly in the air and hit the ground. And Jack, I kid you not, I collapsed to my knees and put my hand. I swear on my life. You know that video, that meme or photo of Russell Wilson on the ground like this? He's like praying. That was me with my hands in my face. About the actual play, couple things. James Bradbury, you're my guy. Respect how you handled that. Do me a favor. Fuck your accountability. Let us fans hold on to something. Blame the refs. I went back to my hotel room and saw that he took ownership, and I was like, dude, this isn't week 8. It's the fucking Super Bowl. Like, don't take ownership. About the penalty, how do I feel about it? By the book, sure, it's a penalty. I will ask you this, though. How many times in the game does that penalty of that caliber happen that it's not called? I will also ask you this, Jack. There was a play in the first half.
Yeah.
James Bradbury on Juju Smith-Schuster. Similar play. Juju goes nuts trying to get a hold. No call. Juju didn't make a peep on that one. It's like, if you're not going to call it earlier in the game, set the precedent, okay? And don't call it later in the game. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul. I can't, because fucking James Bradbury blew that opportunity for me to say that it wasn't. Because if he didn't say that shit, I would be on here yelling to the heavens that wasn't a hold. You bet your ass. I'll admit that right now. But it was, albeit minor. And I know that there's a rule book, right? But at the same time, understand the moment.
See, that's where I push back. Think to
yourself in that second that did that minor. It was not egregious. I think you can agree with that. It was a ticky-tack call. And by ticky-tack, I mean that you could argue it was a hold, you can argue it wasn't. But James Bradbury ruined that for us. That shit happens in the NBA all the time in the finals games, where it's like there's a foul, but it's like you can't let the refs control the outcome. And they didn't, right? Throughout the game, we were one impact play on defense away from winning the game. No thanks to the sod father who rigged the game. If you want me to blame someone, we can blame that slippery-ass Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes ice rink of a field that they put on. That just so happens that Chiefs superfan, on working his last Super Bowl, was the one that laid out. Oh, they put $800,000 in it. Fucking, the Eagles had to change cleats 50 times. Chiefs didn't change cleats. What did they know that we didn't? That's all I'll say. If you want me to blame something, it's that old raggedy fuck that put the grass down. So I'm not going to blame the flag because, again, We had the opportunity to make a singular play on defense. We had the second most historic defensive line in NFL history. Second most sacks in NFL history. Patrick Mahomes didn't have to wash his jersey after the game. He just didn't. It was clean. We didn't get to him. We didn't do anything. And the fact that we didn't get a hand on Patrick Mahomes and still lost on a game-winning field goal and put up 35 points is, if you told me that we wouldn't touch Patrick Mahomes all game, I would say we would have lost by 14. But we didn't, and we still lost by 3 on a game-winning field goal. But, yeah, I know.
Well, let me jump in. Let me jump in
on the flag, because I know you want to push back on the fact that you can't call it in that moment.
Yeah,
you're a big rules guy. You're a big rules guy.
No. All right,
you didn't drink until you were 21.
Exactly. Let me establish one. The first thing is that I believe the flag was called because I saw 2 grabs of the jersey, neither being egregious, but I think the first one, which, by the way, something that I haven't heard Eagles fans even talk about, the context before the line of scrimmage. So you're even allowed to be 100%. Even hands here.
Oh, we could also talk about there was hands to the face on the Chiefs before the hold.
Interesting. I didn't see that. But I think it's the fact that Juju breaks out, gets a little grab, and then again gets grabbed. I think that's probably why the call is called. Secondly, I only push back on this sentiment. The ref shouldn't impact the game at that point in the game. Well, if the referee doesn't call the penalty, he makes the same impact as if he correctly calls the penalty. So for that reason, I don't love when people say it like that. If you want to go the route of like, let the boys play, especially later in the game, I'm fine with that. But just the sentiment that I see online of like, you can't impact the game. Well, if you're not calling flags, then you are by and large impacting the game. So I thought it was a penalty. It was very minor. And honestly, I think it's fair that Eagles fans are upset because it was a minor penalty that late in the game. And honestly,
and they weren't calling it for the first 3 quarters of the game.
Yeah.
They weren't.
And James Bradberry ruined everything by admitting that you
dude.
just can't do that.
I even was screaming to the heavens that wasn't a foul until I got home and went on Twitter. I was like, dude. And also, he's a 1-year. If he was a Philly vet, he'd probably understand, like, I need to give these guys something. He's here on a 1-year deal, so he doesn't know any better as to what we need. Yeah. And thank God we have the sod father to blame, which it's actually a legitimate conversation to have about the field. It was a fucking slip and slide for the boys in green. It was. And it was dry as Sahara.
For both teams.
No.
But
for both teams.
Sure, but for both teams, it was still slippery. The Chiefs were slipping. But I do agree that it plays more for the Chiefs because it neutralizes the pass rush, which is the same thing that the snow did in Cincinnati for the offensive line. So these are factors that you just can't anticipate going in, especially when the NFL is platforming the fact that they invested, 7 figures in the field. They're rolling it in and out, and then it's the worst field ever. And now there's Turfgate. People think not Sodgate, but that they're pushing a turf narrative because they want to show the players who want grass. There's so many complexities to this intense script.
You want to talk about conspiracies. Did you see the clip of Roger Goodell and Chris Jones after the game? The hell is that about? You can touch the quarterback however you want? Are you kidding me? Player safety. My ass, Roger. I would beat Goodell's ass.
Is James Bradberry actually trash? Like, what's your gut? Now that he ruined the moment for you, now that he's on a 1-year deal, Deebo Samuel says Bradberry isn't good. He gets the hold. Is there any truth to this? That the D-line covered... Yeah, but that the D-line covered him up. I don't know.
No, the Bradberry and Darius Slay throughout the entire year, and with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, they were probably the best 2-corner tandem in the league. Probably one of the best secondaries in the league when Gardner-Johnson was healthy. Who the fuck is saying that Bradberry's not actually good? The San Francisco 49ers? Still? Please. James Bradberry is all pro and only has a special place in my heart in Philadelphia.
Besides ruining the most important part. Anyways, Juju Smith-Schuster, TikTok boy, went on, and I think, he didn't create the meme. It was like NFL Memes IG or whomever created the meme. and said, if you're looking for someone to hold you on this Valentine's Day, and it's a picture of James Bradbury. He shared it. It was funny. Juju's a social media guy.
You laughed?
AJ Brown didn't laugh. I know that for sure. AJ Brown came with fire back at Juju. Do you think Juju's trash talk, though, is fair?
No, absolutely not. And that's not even personal, right? Listen, let me put you in this scenario. Had James Bradbury stood up to the podium and said that was bullshit, all this stuff, I didn't tell him, all that shit, and Juju came back with that, I'd be totally fine with that. James Bradbury took it to the chin, owned the play, said, I didn't make the play, I didn't think they'd call it, but it was a hold. It was the right call. You don't kick a man while he's down. You just don't. Especially when you did jack shit all year, Juju Smith-Schuster. And then AJ goes after him. And you know how you know that Juju was in the wrong? Find me one NFL player that took Juju's side in that. Everyone from all different, every different team, Cowboys, Micah, Trayvon Diggs, everybody is taking the side of AJ Brown. I'm sorry. Juju has a nice position here, right? Because you can say whatever you want if you're AJ Brown to him. Juju has a ring. Juju won. Like, he has the ultimate, like, it's almost like my daddy's rich, so I can do what I want, right? Where it's like, well, you're actually a fucking loser, and everyone knows it, but yes, you are rich. So,
but he did ball out in the second half of the game.
Dude, you could have balled out in the second half of the game. All right? He didn't do shit all year, signed a 1-year deal, and got called TikTok boy by another grown man. All right? Like, there's no bouncing back from that. And now people are literally calling and asking if, in the NFL, does Juju actually have any friends in the NFL? He showed up in a kilt. So, no. Listen, like I said, if Bradbury said that was bullshit, that's not a foul, and Juju went after him, fair play. The fact that James Bradbury owned it, you don't kick a man while he's down. What do you think?
Juju went back at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, too. He went back at Bradbury or at A.J. Brown. He kind of got feisty with it, and I have respect for him.
He didn't win.
But like you said,
if you get bodied,
he can't lose. He can't lose.
He can't lose. You're right. But when you get bodied and get called a TikTok boy, like, you can't just sit there. You have to say something. So I'm not giving him credit for responding back to that. But AJ and everyone just they let the dogs out on him. Like,
I do want to say,
AJ saying you called Pat and told on me, like, you told your mommy.
That was funny because Mahomes did send a tweet. But I do want to say a little ad lib here, which is the progress that we've made as a society of understanding that athletes don't literally just watch film, practice, play their sport, go home, eat, train, is so exciting because Juju literally got bullied out of creating TikToks after a season with Pittsburgh. And there was absolutely no one who said a word, not a peep, about the fact that Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce were doing podcasts on the week of Super Bowl. Not to mention they're playing on different teams.
Dude,
obviously, it's all kosher, but could you imagine 5 years ago them being like, bro, he's going to like give up some part of the game plan or like something like I'm so happy to where we've gotten at this point in society.
Dude, what? There's a difference between doing a podcast that actually talks about sports and during Super Bowl week and doing the fucking dice roll bunny hop at midfield at training camp and practice. Corvette. Like, dude, shut up.
But one of them takes 30 seconds and one takes hours of their time, prep work. I mean, we put in days before we record a podcast.
They're brothers. They just go up there and shoot the shit.
All I'm saying is I think it's exciting that we've gotten to this point where people weren't being like, even the old, because the Kelce podcast was incredible. Obviously,
I'm glad I never have to see Donna Kelsey's face again. Sick of that bitch.
You act like it's not Jason's mom, too. You act like it's only Travis's mom.
Well, the front of her jersey was Travis, so that's all I could see.
That's true. All right. It is Thursday, so we shall rank this week's rank the best parts of Super Bowl week. So Abe came out to Arizona. I got there on Monday. He got there on Wednesday evening. We had what I would say is a fantastic time because you left before, the inevitable.
We had a time. One of the last things I said before I left Arizona is I dapped up Alex, and he said, "Good luck," and I said, "Thanks. I don't really think we'll need it." That's
yeah.
Damn it. But what an awesome week. Honestly, one of the most memorable experiences I'll ever have. Some of stories that I will never forget. Things I would
and to confirm, you did not. Now that you know the result, you did not want to be at the game, like under any circumstance.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Imagine
because I was feeling a little bit of guilt.
Imagine being out $5,000 and then seeing that.
But what if your ticket was paid for? Like, what if we had hit? What if I had hit?
If I paid for that and we almost hit. If I paid for that and went with you and you didn't pay me back, you would not be my best friend.
But all right, even if the ticket was free, would you have wanted to be there next to me in my Chiefs Patrick Mahomes baseball jersey? I don't know if I would have wanted you to be there because I wouldn't have been able to cheer for the Chiefs like I did. Like that amount of heartbreak, that it's like your wife breaks up with you,
dude. Because you're not even factoring everything else about it. Like I have to go home and be with people that I was talking shit to. I have to travel on probably the worst travel day of the year at Phoenix or whatever, that airport. Like, it's not just that. And no, I drank and I was able to fall asleep because I was so sad. So no, given the opportunity to looking back, I would not have taken a ticket to that game.
Okay. Good to know. Well, let's rank the top 3 parts of our Super Bowl week. With that being said,
when we're there next year, I'm down.
Okay. Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Yeah, because you're not going to lose back-to-back Super Bowls. You're not the Bills.
No, absolutely not.
Number 3, Josh Dobbs being the absolute boy.
The boy, so welcome anytime.
For those who don't know, Josh Dobbs was the quarterback at Tennessee in college. He has alopecia, which I do as well. We had him on the podcast. Earlier in the week, before Abe got in, I actually saw him at a country club. He was going to a golf event. Said what up to him, took a quick pic. Didn't really, know if I would see him later in the week, and it was just a quick exchange. Then on Friday night, Abe and I go to the Drake party. And to give you a little bit of context on the party, Drake's performing on a round stage in the middle. There's probably only 3,000 people in the whole building. And like 500 of us are probably GA. The rest are tables or they're up top. And so we're kind of wandering around. We had access, I think, I don't know, they weren't really checking wristbands, to go through the table section, but there was nowhere to really do anything for us. But, those people paid like 6 figures combined to have those tables. So if anyone wanted to be rude, I would be understanding of that. But Josh Dobbs was just like so nice. We saw him outside as well. He was chatting us up. And it's just nice to know there's genuine good people left in this world who have made it. I mean, he started what was pretty much a playoff game for the Titans, that last game against the Jags, as opposed to some other quarterbacks in the NFL who were not as nice, who will remain unnamed. I'm sure Abe will call him out in 14 seconds. So, number 3 for me, just catching up with an old friend.
Dak's a dickhead, and I should have sent a video to TMZ. My number 3, a little selfish. First off, I just want to say the Snapback Live event was absolutely awesome. It was surreal to think that people spent their hard-earned money to come listen to us rant. With that being said, another minor flex, I signed my first autograph. How many you got in your bag?
The first time it happened to me was 3 years ago, All-Star in Chicago, and I was like, a pair of
tits or a baby's head?
No, nothing like that. But I signed a couple
over under like 25 autographs you've signed.
Oh, under for sure.
Okay, so I signed an autograph. I want to say his name was Zach, and I feel horrible if I'm botching his name. Feel free to DM me if this is you. Gave me his hat. I was like, what do I do? Like, do I just do the squiggle so I act like a
I was gonna say you do have to know what you're saying.
You can't just write
so
A B E.
Yeah, if I'm signing for the check, I'm just like John. If I'm signing for the check, I just
scribble.
I go full script, and my thing, I add a little 2-3 because I feel like I'm in the
I
league.
just did a very cursive
podcast.
Abe G squiggle. It was difficult. It was on a hat, the hat you're wearing right now, pretty fresh. And I did it on the white part, so I had to do it on like the corner next to the snapback. And I'm a lefty, so I didn't want to smudge and everything. I was terrified. Terrified. The more I get the opportunity to sign, the more I will. If you see me on the street, ask for an autograph. Not because you want it, just so I get some practice in. You can throw it out when you're done with it. But that was pretty cool. So signing an autograph, number 3.
Okay. Go ahead, snake it.
Oh, snake. My number 2, sticking on the Snapback Live event, was Jamal Williams. Specifically, we sung SpongeBob with Jamal Williams, the funniest NFL player. Jamal was an awesome dude, made for an awesome interview. If you haven't watched it, it's on YouTube right now. You can go watch the entire interview. Pardon for the audio issues. We're doing the best we could. But yeah, our buddy Kevin Walsh asked a question, rank his top.
He owes you $20.
He does. And listen to this cuck. This is my additional cuck of the week. It's convenient. Guy who has 25,000 followers on Instagram, content creator, getting sent to the Super Bowl, doesn't have Venmo. Convenient.
He said that? You got in contact with him and he said, I don't have Venmo?
What do you mean? The second the anthem finished, I think I said, hit my Venmo, dickhead, in all caps. Let's see what I said to him.
It was close, though. Not the line, I guess, we set, but the overall.
He said,
line
I'll
was
Venmo
close.
you tomorrow/Tuesday. Venmo banned me, so I'll have my buddy send it for me.
Did you get that 20?
I said, haha, no worry. I got to hit him back up. But yeah, I'm getting that money because I'm getting that money. But Kevin asked Jamal Williams what his top 3 favorite SpongeBob episodes were, because Jamal showed up in a SpongeBob bucket hat and SpongeBob mid-calf socks. So he likes SpongeBob and about everything else cartoon in the world. And he was like Magic Conch, Krusty Krab Pizza, and Dirty Dan. And obviously he's going to put Krusty Krab Pizza one because who isn't? And all of a sudden we just break out into a Krusty Krab Pizza is the pizza for you and me. And that was just a hysterical moment that I kind of will never forget. So number 2 is Jamal Williams, the absolute man. Not sure we would vibe off the field, or off the mic, but just the absolute man who loves video games and cartoons. Shout out Jamal.
That's what I was going to ask you is, like, he's hilarious. He's so nice. But, like, I don't know if he'd be my boy. Like, I really don't know if he would be my boy.
That's no dig to Jamal whatsoever. That's why there's apples and oranges. He's just like he was not going to watch the Super Bowl. Maybe I should hang out with him. And he was not going to watch the Super Bowl. He doesn't watch football. He doesn't care. He just watches film. He was leaving the event. He's in Arizona for Super Bowl week. And like you said, there's all these parties and everything.
He does live there. He does live there.
He does live there. But what did Jamal Williams want to do during Super Bowl week in his hometown? Go home and play Harry Potter for 10 hours. I'm just not much of a gamer. It's not my cup of tea, but that doesn't take away from Jamal. I just don't think we'd be the best of friends off the field. But I'm down to chill and find out.
Real quick, since we didn't get to do Cap of the Week, and you called a little Cap of the Week on Kevin not having Venmo, although you're banned on Uber, so you understand how these big corp companies... Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you on the bus there. What do you think about this? I turned around when the Devontae Smith catch, no catch happened, which was maybe in the second quarter.
Makeup call from the Niners week.
Right. I turned around and I was like, oh, it's not a catch. And the Eagles fan behind me was like, oh, that's a catch. And I was like, I'll bet you $100. And he was like, he was older than me, like a father. And it actually seemed like $100 was like, which is weird because he was at the Super Bowl. Like, you know that in that moment I was just like, all right, fuck it. And so we agreed on the bet. I thought it was going to stand based on the first few angles, and then I agree with you. It obviously was just a makeup call for last week.
Last week happened, and Chris Jones can do whatever he wants to the quarterback. Those are the only 2 rules.
Right. And so I win the bet, and he doesn't really make like a move for the wallet or anything. And initially I was just like, you know what, I don't actually want the 100. It's just about being right.
I would have said, go buy me a beer.
So I said, keep the money. I don't actually want it. He said, oh, all right, let me at least buy you a beer. So solid Philly guy. This
that
is
was
where
probably
I'm
close
feeling...
to $100 at the Super Bowl.
Right. This is where I'm calling Cap of the Week. He said, I was actually going to do the same thing. I wasn't really getting that vibe. Like he was saying, if it was a catch.
I can't tell because I couldn't see what this guy looked like. Only you really know that.
Yeah.
But I will say that if in that split moment you make like a 1 second bet for someone you've never met before, and you don't like say it's fine or just buy me something, you're a fucking asshole. Plain and simple, you are.
Yeah, I really didn't want the money.
He is a Philly fan, so he might have just looked at you and said, "Where's my money, dickhead?" or something like that.
100%. That was the vibe I was getting. Anyways, my number 2 is meeting up with the fam, as always, is the best part of the week. And more specifically at the live event was the fact that you were willing, and I was actually kind of nervous about it because we didn't know Jamal yet. We didn't know how to break him in. He seems like a shy guy off camera, which is interesting. And you wanted to come out guns blazing, asking him about soaking. And for those who don't know, go watch the clip on our channels.
Are we gonna post that?
Yeah, Riley will post that this week.
The soaking one, though?
The soaking one. We have it's a good clip. It's a good 30-second clip. And I was like, I don't think it would ruin it because we have actually gotten good at kind of like navigating. We've only had really 2 bad interviews, I think, in the history of this pod.
DJ and...
I would put... I mean, I like Smitty, but that's not really on us, but it's like, he's just not that type of guy. Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
If you're going to put Smitty below that freaking 13-year-old kid that plays video games for a living... then you got to twist it, all right? What was that kid's name? Do you remember?
I think it's Skeptic, something like that. Yeah. So I was really, it made my week, the fact that Abe was like, let's go for it. Let's be those type of people, which is like, let's have fun with this. Let's not care about, what this guy thinks. Let's force him into this situation.
That's not how this went down. That's not how this went down.
No, I'm saying, like, there could have been, he could have been like, are you serious?
Right,
or he
but
could have
that's
been
not
like,
how
nah,
the conversation between you and I went down. How it went down.
No, I fully was letting you go.
I was preparing. It didn't seem like that because I was preparing for the show, and I go, "Oh, Jamal went to BYU. I wonder if he knows what soaking is." And you just giggled, and I was like, "We should ask him." And then you looked like you kind of were like, "I can't tell if Abe's kidding or not," but I wasn't. And the clip's hysterical.
It's a great clip. It was worth it. All right, my number 1 best part of Super Bowl week is not the Drake party. It's not attending Saquon Barkley's birthday party. It's quite simply watching a ball flutter through the air, knowing that no matter how good the season was, no matter how good the Eagles might be in the future, no matter how proven Jalen Hurts is, I don't have to deal with the fact that the Eagles won the Super Bowl because just like Juju Smith-Schuster did and tweeted and talked, no matter what, if you have that Super Bowl, nothing matters. And most importantly, we've passed the 5-year ante of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Therefore, it is useless, and we move forward on an equal playing field.
You get 2 years of my team went to the Super Bowl.
No. Take it. I'll just ask you how it went in the game. You can have it. You know what? I'll take that all day. The Phillies went to the World Series. The Union went to the MLS Cup. You can have that. But for me, the best part was when the Eagles lost.
Part of me, and like this is just like, why not? Like it was a 7-yard field goal to win it. Part of me was like, he might miss this. He might miss it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you thought so because on the slippery turf and the way Bucker had already missed one, I was like, I feel like they should have tried to score.
At my party, I did that thing. I was a hero for a minute. I got on my knees next to the TV and just started blowing to the left for the Bucker extra point, and it went left and hit off the post, and everyone went nuts. And I was like, do I do it for this? I probably don't because it's probably going in, and then I'm just on my knees blowing the television, and that looks pretty weird. So that's what went through my head at that point. I was fine for the extra point because it was just an extra point. and or a field goal, and I thought Bucker was gonna. I said that to you. I think Bucker's gonna miss an extra point, but he didn't. He made a 3-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're gonna have that. It sucks. Yeah, my number one moment of Super Bowl week. You can have the fact that the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. People have been mean, Jack, in my DMs. By the way, 2 people sent me the Bradbury meme before Juju tweeted it.
Yeah, it wasn't new.
People have been mean.
Good.
And you know what? Doesn't matter. There are things that are bigger than football. At 3:00, 3 hours before the game, I became an uncle. My little baby niece, Maya Pearl, was born, and she's gorgeous. And you know what? Some things are bigger than football.
She is a cute fucking baby.
She's gorgeous, man. She's
like
adorable.
All I'm saying is, down the road, if
Relax.
the ring chase never completes, I mean, see me in 2041.
So you can clown me all you want, but some things are bigger than football, and if you do clown me for losing the Super Bowl, then you're ignorant. Number one part was becoming a first-time uncle.
Congrats, Uncle Abe, and congrats to the Granoffs for a cute freaking baby. Timing of that baby, I don't know. It's like, all right, Abe, tell me this. Would you rather have a fall wedding on a Sunday, which actually one of your friends has, or a baby born during a Super Bowl you're playing? Like, is that the worst timing for an event?
Well, you have Uber or Lyft. You can call your wife a Lyft or an Uber. I mean, think about it.
Where did they watch the game from? From the hospital?
My brother barely watched the game. He watched the fourth quarter. He was that's
even more brutal.
He hasn't really looked at Twitter. He's torturing himself. He's gonna go home and rewatch it. But I was telling him a lot about the game. He had his first child, and 2 hours before the game. Like, there's not much he can do there. But she's healthy. She's adorable. And fuck you if you clown me for the Eagles.
Fair enough. I'm going to move Cock of the Week down, and we're going to pop the internet graphic of the week in right here. So, I posted this on the Snapback story with my opinion on it, and I got a little bit of some pushback. So I'm going to share it right here. And it is this one. So Varsity Combine 1 tweeted, and SportsCenter made it into a graphic. McKinnon could have spent the rest of his life telling his children and grandchildren about the time he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I'm sure he had dreamed of that moment since he was a child and knows he may never get the opportunity again. Instead, with 1 minute left, he chose to sacrifice that accomplishment to better the chances that all of his teammates get a ring. I will always be a fan. This is a picture that should be put up in every high school gym in the country. Abe, thoughts?
I'm sorry. Did the guy jump in front of a bullet? Or did he make the correct football play that he gets paid $1 million to do? What are you talking about? The only thing that this will teach kids if you hang it in gymnasiums is that you should do what you're told to do. Which, no shit, they're in school. That's what they do. A child does this. They do what they're told. Oh, I'm sorry, that millionaire Jerick McKinnon, I'm not talking about other people's pockets, who's about to get a Super Bowl ring, didn't get 6 points for his fantasy team in the Super Bowl. There's not even playoffs going on, really. That could have cost someone something. But
it definitely cost someone something.
I mean, part of me thought, get in there. Get in there. How are we comparing this guy to Martin Luther King for doing what he's supposed to do and paid to do? That's what I don't understand. This guy is not a superhero. And I bet you if you asked Jerick McKinnon, he would say this is ridiculous.
I mean, even the first sentence, McKinnon could have spent the rest of his life telling his children and grandchildren about the time he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Jerick McKinnon will now spend the rest of his life telling his children and grandchildren about the time he won the Super Bowl. That is all.
Look at this NFL Top Shot of me scoring a touchdown. Or, hey, put this Super Bowl ring around your neck. Which would you rather do?
Now, I'll say this as well. If, let's say the Chiefs were up 3 in this moment with 50 seconds left on the clock, and he had a run like this, right? And it would have put him up 10, and then their chances of the Eagles coming down, getting the onside kick, scoring a touchdown, that would be different, right? Because in that moment, he truly sacrificed almost 99.9% still opportunity. This was like, it's not even a question. This changes the win probability from 99% to like 70%. And given the way the game was going, like, I couldn't believe. And everyone is telling me on Snapback, like, L take, like, why you got to be a hater? I'm like, no, I just
Send
like
them my way. Listen, I am totally fine with 95% of what's in this message. Like, it's disgusting and puke to me. But I want someone who says L take to come to my DMs and give me 3 reasons why this picture should be put up in high school gyms all over the country. Are you kidding me?
Because he's get that split cat.
Just oh my god! I really actually want to hear the other side. It's maybe it's an education thing.
No. It's more so like they're respecting the fact that he did do his job, and I get it. Like, you should be commended, I guess, for doing your job. But acting like the problem is the folklore of the way this tweet is written, as if, like you said, he jumped in front of a bus and saved a family of children. He just did the right play to win his team. Like, we should tweet this, like, Harrison Butker could have spent the rest of his life telling his children and grandchildren about the time he faked a field goal and ran in a touchdown. Like, dude, he just kicked the ball to the...
Context matters, right? This tweet is coming from at Varsity Combine 1, KC Varsity Combine, so from Kansas City.
Yeah.
If my team just won the Super Bowl, Jack, I would tell people that there should be a picture of A.J. Brown naked in every high school gym in the country. Like, obviously, they're going to tweet this. I would probably want something as a constant reminder to kids all over the world. He wants a sacrifice. I want a picture of A.J. Brown. Whatever. So, like,
Cuck of the week.
Does matter.
Cuck of the week. I'll start.
New
is
segment.
You.
Yeah, that seemed like a layup. Way to get creative.
For thinking the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl. For saying you were the best team all year. For saying Jalen Hurts wasn't a running back. For questioning the fact that told everyone
what we're not going to do where we can actually fight. No, you can do your Cuck of the week.
Shut up. No. What I said before the season was there were 11 contenders in the NFL and the Eagles weren't one of them. And that's how it played out. The Kansas City Chiefs were Super Bowl champions, and you're cuck for thinking the Eagles ever had a chance as a non-contender.
Yeah,
it wasn't your year. I told you it was not your year, and you just didn't have that magic at the end of it all, and it was the Chiefs' year.
Yeah, you're doing what I did with the 49ers years ago. Like, come on. You're learning from the greats. But we can fight at this point. Like, actually, what is derogatory to me at this point is anyone slandering Jalen Hurts' name. So you can say all that shit.
Well, on a rookie deal, I agree.
You call Jalen Hurts a running back, you leave that out of your mouth, okay?
Whoa, time out. He did have 17 carries, set a Super Bowl record for rushing for a quarterback, and carried the ball in the end zone 3 times, and had an octopus by way of the legs. So all I'm saying is when times were toughest, and then the one play they failed in the fourth quarter was a passing play when A.J. Brown was open. That's all I'm saying. I actually, before you give me your Cuck of the week, what did you want the Eagles to do on 4th and 2 at the 30 when they decided to punt? Because I think Sirianni folded. I think that's a go spot, especially given context. Like, they hadn't gotten stops.
You gave the Chiefs 2 for 1. You gave the Chiefs a 2-for-1 chance to win the game. Now, maybe like that decision looks good if that holding doesn't get called and it's a field goal and the Eagles go down and win the game. So it's all results based.
But that's my question to you. Obviously, it is like the next play. Sky Moore took the ball down to the 5-yard line, and it's like, okay, well, we probably shouldn't have punted. But in the moment, I was saying, go. You gotta go. I was saying in the tough spot. Yeah. You wanted to kick.
It didn't really register to me until we punted, and I was like, oh, whatever, we're punting. And then after, like, a commercial break, I was like, wait, should we have not punted that ball? And then I just kind of shake it off, and I was just like, what? It doesn't matter. We're winning this game. Like that was my range of emotions. At first I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I was like, wait a second. I was like, whatever, we're going to win anyway.
Okay.
I was wrong.
All right, give me your cuck of the week.
So there's no more slandering Jalen Hurts ever. My cuck of the week goes to Travis Kelce. I have had enough. And this isn't bitter. I heard Travis Kelce at the podium the next day because I was not watching. I did not watch that. I turned the TV right off. I didn't watch any of that shit. Say nobody believed in the Chiefs. What? I heard Travis.
They were underdogs.
What did I see Travis Kelce say today? I need to find this clip right now. The haters were saying the Chiefs would never make the playoffs. Find me one person that said the Chiefs never made the playoffs. And then you got Kermit the Frog motherfucker at quarterback at the parade today saying, so I guess this is double cuck of the week, saying, people said we were rebuilding. Who rebuilds with a quarterback that makes $400 million? What are you talking about?
I'll give him credit for saying that the AFC West is tougher, but I don't think anyone was like, they're in a rebuild right now. I think they lost Tyreek Hill, and people were like, oh, maybe the offense. There were parts, but I actually agree with you. They went to a different level.
They lost Deshaun Jackson with a nickname. That's all they lost in Tyreek Hill. Nobody picked against you. Nobody didn't believe in you. You guys were the second or third favorite to win the Super Bowl the entire season. You were. Cuck of the week, that's just a weirdo move to me. A weirdo move. And cap of the week. Cuck and cap. 2-for-1 special. How about it?
We appreciate that. All right, we're going to get Eagleson in here for a little What the Puck. We could pause right now, let Eagleson actually just edit this in post, but for this first go at it, I'm going to let him see if he can pull off the inevitable, which is changing from producer to guest, getting into, and he did it. I think he did it. Did he figure it out?
He did it.
Should we have always trusted Eagleson?
He's him.
Are you okay? Looks like he's not him. He's not him. He's not him.
Oh my God, he's botched so hard. I think we have to strip him of What the Puck.
No, I'm here. I got it.
Jack, what do you think?
I think
I saw a hold, and you got to call it at this point in the podcast.
There was a small one. I was this close.
In post-production, Eagleson's going to have to take a look at the footage and determine, does this need to be edited, or do we need to keep it?
Maybe you throw the Jeopardy music behind when you're struggling.
All right, Eagleson, we'll give you 2 minutes on this episode. 1 minute to say what I'm sure has been pent up inside of you for the past, let's call it 6 months, and then we'll get some hockey to close it out.
Wait, what was that? Not the thing you were referring to? The hockey?
I was saying you could get a minute to talk to Abe. You could get a minute to talk hockey.
Yeah.
How old are you, Eagleson? 18?
18. My birthday's actually tomorrow. I'll be 19.
You're 18, so I can legally beat your ass. Just keep that in mind.
You could try, but yeah. I would still love to do an Oklahoma drill against you. I know that's been going back.
First thing Eagleson said to me when he met me is, "Oh, you're bigger than I thought." Keep that in mind. Now you may start your 2 minutes.
Let's do it.
Go ahead. I'm not going to time the first minute. I figured
no timer?
Yeah, I figured
it's going to magically turn into 5.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So first, I'll just start off with Abe. Like, how does it feel to have your defense that was that good get fucking exposed in front of everybody? They ran the same play. Your goal line and red zone defense was atrocious. They ran the same play on you guys twice. You guys, I don't know some bad communication with the corners and safeties. Guys were wide open when they were on the goal line. That was actually great to watch for me and Jack, but probably not as much for you.
So what's your question?
Other than that, obviously, I've never witnessed a Super Bowl. I can say that. We've all been there, but
or what else?
I've never been, never won.
No.
But
anything else? Have you experienced maybe a playoff win?
I'm a semi Raptors fan. We got that one in 2019.
Okay. Continue. I don't even think you've asked a question yet.
No, there's no question.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll just move to the hockey now.
Yeah,
That was about it.
Talk about what you know. He got scared.
I figure maybe you.
I know you guys lost in the Super Bowl. I know that.
Yes, we did.
Fair. All right, here we go. Abe,
All right.
You want to count them down for old time's sake?
Just go. You're wasting time.
All right, so it's been a while since our last What the Puck, and apparently the league has suffered because of it. Viewership's been down a little bit, and I'm assuming that's because What the Puck hasn't been here. I'm going to attribute it a lot to that. The only way to change this, really, is, I think, to come in here and start talking about how the Leafs are not only going to get out of the first round, but they're going to win the fucking Stanley Cup this year. Start with William Nylander on the most underrated contract in all of NHL. Kyle Dubas is a genius. Also one of the most underrated scorers in the league. Austin Matthews, the best pure scorer of our generation. Not even close. Samsonov, amazing signing. Like, in net, I couldn't have expected anything better from Dubas. I could go on and on about that. I'll move over to the Boston Bruins. We're in a pretty stacked division with them in the Atlantic. They are supposed to be a wagon. They're setting up just like the 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning, who, if you guys don't remember, got swept in the first round by the Columbus Blue Jackets. They are a fraudulent team. We'll see that come playoffs. They're going to break all these points records just like...
All right, stop. What I had just learned about our Riverside technology is I can't mute Eagleson anymore.
No.
That blows.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Best pure score, like Ovechkin's in the league, he's gonna like break the record for most goals ever.
He doesn't count as my generation, does he?
Gotcha. Okay.
That's more what I was saying. Like Matthews, like these young guys coming up.
Yeah.
I think I know what it
yeah.
feels like to hear me talk about the Sixers now. Just like a little bit better because we get out of the first round at least.
Oh, you guys are going to the finals this year too.
Fuck yeah. Can't wait to go.
And you're losing.
Can't wait to play in Phoenix in a championship.
Should end well for you. Should end well. All right, Eagleson, final thoughts.
I have an economics exam tomorrow.
Hope you fail.
I should have seen that coming, honestly.
Abe, final thoughts?
Tomorrow's a new day. Hopefully it gets better. Probably it'll get worse.
It won't. You guys still lost the Super Bowl.
All right, fam. We will see you on Monday. All-Star Weekend on the horizon. Now that football is over, we'll have some more basketball content for you. Until then, much love. Peace.